Secretary of State Rex Tillerson says he has no doubt that Russia interfered in last year's US presidential election, despite the lack of any apparent evidence.
I have seen the intelligence reports, Chuck, and yes, I don't think there's any question that the Russians were playing around in our electoral processes.
His statement comes in direct contrast to comments made by the Russian foreign minister during his visit to Washington, D.C. this week. After Sergei Lavrov met Donald Trump and Tillerson, journalists seemed only interested in asking about that issue.
So much focus on contacts that Trump campaign people may have had with Russia. Do you see that affecting the relationship?
Of course, we see this abnormal background against which we now have to develop our relations. And I think this is humiliating for the American people to be told that Russia pulls all the strings in the U.S. domestic politics.
In your meeting with President Trump, did he raise U.S. concerns about Russian interference in the U.S. elections?
I have already responded to a similar question. When Mr. Trump and I talked, we never touched upon any of that nonsense.
As you know, we've seen the U.S. intelligence agencies accuse Russia of interfering in the elections.
You all seem to be reasonable people, and you still ask that.
Did Mr. Trump raise the question of Russian interference in the U.S. elections?
I just said that President Trump has stated publicly that these are all false stories. Please, do give us at least one fact, and then we can react. We haven't been presented a single fact, including in the Senate, where they've had special committees appointed just for that. Listen, this is not serious.
We spoke to a number of experts who told us the contradictions from within Team Trump and the continued unfounded accusations only serve to muddy the waters between the US and Russia.
Well, it's very difficult to work out what's going on in American policy at the moment, isn't it? I mean, there's clearly a huge fight going on for the control of the aircraft, as it were. The co-pilots trying to override the pilots, etc. And it must be very frustrating for the Russian diplomats who have to deal with them. But of course they're still running this story that somehow Russia interfered in the US election, which on the face of it is a ridiculous allegation. And of course the substance of it is simply not there.
I think it's preposterous at this stage, and there are better things that our mainstream media can do than go back over this ground again and again and again. It's time to, think jointly, Russia and the United States and other world powers. So what are some real problems that we can solve now, as opposed to looking into the rearview mirror with this tired and frankly embarrassing meme?
Some media outlets had gone into a frenzy over photos of that first meeting between Russia's foreign minister Sergei Lavrov and Donald Trump. Only 2 photographers were allowed in, one of them from a Russian news agency.
Donald Trump barred American reporters, but let Russian reporters go in there.
Both individuals have official photographers in the room. We had an official photographer in the room. Proper protocol was followed in this procedure.
Well, just the possibility of any kind of listening devices or video recording devices.
But while some were annoyed at not being allowed to have their cameras at the meeting, others went down the conspiracy theory route. Some media outlets claimed members of the Russian delegation could bug the Oval Office. This photo of Trump standing next to Russian Ambassador Sergei Kislyak also caused controversy, with media outlets branding the official a top spy.
This is the photograph at the center of the media circus. Now, with all this controversy, we figured that Americans would at least know who it is that Trump was photographed with. We decided to find out. Trump shook hands with someone in the Oval Office. It was photographed, very controversial. Doesn't ring any bells?
No.
Do you know who it is who's in this photograph that's so controversial?
No.
Do you know who it is?
No, I don't. I'm sorry.
I think it was a Russian ambassador, but I haven't
Right.
Are you talking about our FBI director?
It's not him, but that's close.
Talking about the Attorney General, Jeff Sessions?
Nope.
Russian president.
Oh, you're close. You're close. It wasn't the Russian president, but you're close.
Could be anybody, actually.
Okay.
I'll.
All right.
Michelle Obama.
It's the Russian ambassador, Kislyak.
Okay.
All right.
Nice.
So now this picture is so controversial because it was taken by Russian news reporters. Russian photographers took this picture.
Okay.
And some people are worried that they may have wiretapped the Oval Office while they were in there meeting with Trump. Do you think that's possible?
Sure.
Okay. Do you think it's possible they could have wiretapped the White House?
Sure. I suppose anything's possible.
Could have done a lot of things. We're in technology. They could have done a lot of things, yes.
Mark a spot they could have wiretapped.
Okay, I would say under the cushion when no one was looking.
But that's so obvious. Let's go under this dresser.
Where would I put that? In the lemon.
Oh, okay. Any other spot come to mind?
Maybe behind a picture.
I would probably put it closer to his desk.
Closer to the desk.
Yeah.
Okay.
It could be so tiny, it could be that small, and there could be several of them.
Do you feel like the media is a little paranoid about Russia?
I don't think so. I think we need to know what's going on.
They have a good right to be paranoid about Russia. I think that all of this negative press coverage is for a reason.
Who is afraid of Russia as the mainstream media would like you to be?
Not right now, no.
Am I afraid of Russia?
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of. No.
Okay.
Should I be?
It seems that Americans might not be as afraid of Russia as the mainstream media would like them to be. Caleb Maupin, RT, Washington, D.C.